Okay, I think we can start now. Okay, welcome back everyone. Today is lesson 2 of the term 2 problem sums mini course. Okay, if you are new here, I'm Miss Chang, right? And I'll give you a little bit of an introduction first before we go to the questions and go through them step by step. Okay. All right. So, okay, I'm from Maths Accelerator Center. Okay, we specialize in mathematics at the center here. Okay, so we help students with borderline grades. Okay, turn around the results within a short period of time. So if you are struggling with problem sums, which is what students usually struggle with, okay, you can come to us and we'll help you with that. Okay, so a lot of students come here struggling with problem sums, be it not being able to identify the keywords, okay, or maybe you're not able to apply the strategy that you have learned. Okay, even though you learn it, but you don't know how to apply, right? So we'll help you with that through guidance and more practice. Okay, so what's the objective of our lessons here? Okay, so it is to improve the students' understandings and confidence in tackling problem sums, and also demonstrate how problem sums can be solved systematically. Okay, so mathematics is very systematic. Okay, you can do your problem sums step by step. Okay, so I'll show you how to do the problem sums later on as well. Okay, there's always a few steps to it, so you just follow along. Okay, we also want to cover topics that are integral to the upcoming assessments, right? So for Primary 6, your mid-years are coming soon. And for Primary 5, okay, your WA2 as well. So it's also to help you lay the foundation for PSLE if you're Primary 6 this year. And it will be relevant for you if you're Primary 5 this year. Okay, it will be relevant for you next year when you become Primary 6. So what's the lesson outline? Okay, we will be doing two strategies, strategy 1 for the first part, and the second part will be doing strategy 2. So as usual, we have some ground rules here. Okay, audio is muted and your communication will be through the chat. So if you want to answer questions or ask questions, okay, it will be through the chat. So you just type into the chat. Okay, so don't spam the chat, be considerate and listen attentively, write down the solutions and fun. Okay. So let's go to the questions. Today we'll be doing fractions, part whole type 1 type of questions. So what kind of questions are these? Okay, later on we'll take a look at the questions. So here are the steps that you can take when you are solving this question. Right, so first step, draw the model. Okay, part whole means you always have, let's say, a certain amount of money, right? The total amount is what you draw first. Okay, then after that, you're going to split it accordingly to the question, right? And if there is remainder, be careful of the fractions. How many units must you cut, right? So you have to read the question carefully. So later on, I'll show you how do you know what to cut in your model. Okay, so if you cut the model correctly and you split the remainder correctly, you'll be able to find the connection and find 1 unit and solve for the answer. Okay, so let's take a look at the first question over here. Alright, so Jim spent 1/4 of his money on a plate of prata. Right, so this is the first fraction, 1/4 of his money. So this fraction belongs to his money, which means it's the total. Okay, so be careful of what the fraction belongs to. Okay, it will affect how your model will look like. So in this case, the 1/4 belongs to his money, which means the total. Okay, then let's continue reading. He spent half of the remaining money on a glass of ice Milo. So half does not belong to of his money. It belongs to of the remaining money, which means it's after he spent his money on the prata, then he spent half of what is left on ice Milo. Okay, so make sure you understand the question. Okay, the fraction belongs to remaining. Okay, so take note of that. So highlight and underline if you need to. Okay, all the keywords. So if he has $6 left, okay, how much money did Jim have at first? Right, so let's draw the model. Okay, there are two ways to do this model. So I'll show you two methods. Okay, then in the other questions, okay, you just choose the method you prefer to solve the question. Okay, so I'm going to split this into two here. M1 for method 1, M2 for method 2. Okay, let's start with method 1. So you draw the model first. Okay, we start with all his money. Okay, so start drawing a model. This is all his money. One quarter of his money was on the prata. Okay, look at the denominator. This is his total. So we're going to cut the total into 4 parts. Okay, 4 units. So 1 out of the 4 is for the prata. Okay, let's label this as P for the prata. And what I like to do is put a dotted line here. Okay, and everything after the dotted line will be your remainder. Okay, so the remainder, he spent half of the remaining money on a glass of ice Milo. Half of it. Okay, so what you can do here is drop down the model so that you have another model over here representing the remainder. Okay, this is the remainder. And he's going to spend half of it. Okay, which means you need 2 units. So split it into 2 here. So half of this is going to be for the ice Milo. Okay, so I put M for Milo. And what is left? He is left with $6. Okay, so make sure you're drawing the model, follow along. This is $6 and this is what is left. Okay, so now that we've drawn our model, if $6 is half of the remainder, the other half must also be $6. Okay, which means your totals in the second model here will be 6 plus 6, $12. Okay, 6 times 2. So if this is $12, okay, in the first model from dotted line to dotted line, it is also $12. But can you tell me in the chat, are each of the units here also $6 in the first model? Yes or no? You can type in the chat. Okay, very good. I see a lot of answers. Okay, so majority of you chose no, okay, which is correct. Okay, each of the units in the first model is not $6. Okay, it's different. Can you see that in the second model you have 2 units only? But in the first model, for the $12, you have 3 parts here, 3 units. So to find each of it, you have to divide by 3. Which means each of the units will have, yes, correct, $4. So what does it tell you about the prata? The prata is also $4. Okay, then now you can look for how much money did Jim have at first. At first would mean everything here, the whole model. So what will your final answer be? Yes, correct. Okay. Yep. Okay, I see a lot of 16 now, correct. Okay, so all 4 units, okay, you take your $4 times 4, which is $16. Okay, so that's method 1. Alright, then method 2 is also your model. Okay, it's just that it will look different. Okay, so first start off with the total again. Alright, and we're going to cut it into 4 as usual. So this is still the same as method 1. Then we label 1 out of 4 for the product. Then the dotted line, okay, this is the remainder. So half of the remaining money is spent on a glass of iced Milo. So instead of dropping another model down, okay, I'm gonna cut the remainder into 2 each. Because if you want half, okay, you cannot split your 3 into half. Okay, you get half of a unit. So we split all into 2 first. Okay, so now your remainder, you will have 6 units. So what is half of 6 units? 6 divided by 2, that will be 3 units. Okay, correct. Okay, those of you typing 3 in the chat. So this 3 here, this will be Milo, and whatever is left will be $6. Okay, so this tells you that 3 units will be your $6. You can find 1 unit, 6 divided by 3, which is $2. Okay, but now your $2 is all of these tiny small units that you found. So if you want to find out how much he had at first, okay, total at first, how many units are you looking for? A total of? Yes, correct, 8 units. Okay, not 4. 4 is the big units. You already split it into 2. Okay, so you will have a total of 8 units. So you still get your answer 16. Okay. Yes, you can also do branching, right? But due to time constraint, I'll only show you these 2 methods because model method is a lot more visual. So some of you might have trouble doing branching. Okay, so you follow the model. If you prefer branching, you can go ahead and do that, right? Or if you prefer model, okay, it's up to you. So you can just check back with me if you get the same answer, right? You can use your own method. Right, so just for method 1 and method 2, can you type into the chat which method do you prefer, M1 or M2? Okay, so I see a mixture of method 1 and method 2. Some put method 3. I think you mean branching, is it? Okay, so yeah. But I do see method 1 a bit more, so I'll continue with method 1. If you prefer method 2, okay, you can go ahead and do method 2. Then you just check with me if you get the same answer, okay? Let's go to question 2. Alright, so let's read the question first. Yes, correct. Lisa, look at the denominator to split the units, correct. Okay, so Cindy spent 1/3 of her pocket money on a book, 1/3 of her pocket money. So this 1/3 is belonging to all her pocket money, total. Okay, and 3/4 of the remainder on magazines. So the 3/4 is belonging to the remainder, not the total. Remember your fraction, okay, you must take note, what does it belong to? So this 3/4 belongs to the remainder. Okay, so that's the very first step. You read the question, you must understand it first. Okay, she had $21 left. Okay, how much money did Cindy have at first? Okay, so first step, draw your entire model. This is all of her pocket money. So how do I split it? Okay, look at the fraction that belongs to her pocket money, which is this 1/3 over here. Denominator is 3. So we're going to cut it into 3. She spends 1 out of 3 on a book. Okay, so let's label 1 out of the 3 for book. Okay, B for book. So after she spends on a book, there is remainder over here. And this is 3/4 of the remainder is going to be spent on magazines. Right, so I'm going to do method 1, dropping down the model to represent the remainder. Okay, so how many units do I cut the remainder into? Look at the fraction. Do I cut it into 3 or 4? Okay, cut the remainder into 3 or 4. Okay, good. Yes, you should cut it into 4 because denominator. Yes, correct. Okay, so you cut it into 4. So once you have 4 units in your remainder, 3 out of the 4 is spent on magazines. So label 3 out of the 4 as magazines. And what is left? $21. Okay, so now we have to look for the total in the second model first, because we want how much money she had at first. We need to work our way upwards. So now that you know that one of the unit in the second model is $21, okay, let's look for the total here, which is 4 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, because all of these are 21. They're all equal. Okay, so take your 21 times 4 first. What will this get you? Okay, thank you, Jin Hao. 84. Yep, correct. Jovin, Javier. Oh, just nice, you all start with J, your names. Okay, so 84. So this is the second part of the model, 84. So this 84 is the same as the remainder in the first model here, which is dotted line to dotted line, 84. But now, do each of these units represent $21? Okay, correct. 2 big units is 84, right, Celeste? Yeah. Okay, so big unit now represents a different amount. You're dividing it by 2. Okay, so take your 84 divide by 2. It will be 42. So this is 42, 42, and 42. So if you want how much she had at first, we are looking for the entire model here. So 42 times 3, correct? Okay, so you take your 42 times 3. What will be your final answer? Yes, correct. 126. So that's how much she had at first. Okay, good. Any questions? You can do your own method, or you you do your own method, then you want to know this method also, you can copy it down as well. So you have more choices during the exam. Okay, but if you are familiar with one, you just stick with one. Just make sure your final answer got units. Okay, this is money. Okay, all right, no questions. We go to question 3 next. Okay, so if you are confident, you can start doing it already. Okay, then you just check back with me your answer on the screen. Okay, right, so let's look at your question 3. Okay, Andy spent 2/5 of his money on a box of chocolates. Okay, first step is look at what the fraction belongs to. This is of his money, so the 2/5 belongs to his total. He spent 3/4 of the remaining money on some curry puffs. So now 3/4 is for the remaining here. Okay, on curry puffs. Then he's left with $12. How much money did Andy have at first? Okay, so first step, draw your model. So this is all of his money. He spends 2/5 of his money. So if this fraction belongs to his total, we must be cutting the total into 5 units. 2 out of the 5 is for chocolates. So we would see HO okay, for chocolate. Alright, so your remainder, 3/4 of it is going to be on curry puffs. So let's drop down the remainder first. Okay, because your remainder you need 4 units, but in the first model you do not have 4 units. Okay, so that's when you need to drop it down so that you can split it into 4. Okay, you only got 3 units in the first model. So if you want to have 4 units, you need to drop the model down first, then cut it into 4. So 3 out of the 4 here is going to be on curry puffs. So put CU for curry puffs. And what is left? $12. Okay, so this is left. Okay, then what do you do next? Right, you're looking for how much he had at first. So you have to work your way upwards. Okay, correct. Okay, you look for the total over here first. Each of these are $12. Okay, so after you've drawn your model, okay, can you go ahead and try it by yourself first? Okay, I'm going to launch a poll here. So select your answer once you have completed the question. Okay, be careful of what the question is asking for. They want ND at first. Okay, so finish up the question and select your answer in the poll. If you're not sure, you can refer back to question 1 and 2. Okay, they are the same type of questions, so you should be able to apply it if you understand question 1 and 2. Okay, a few more seconds. Okay, I'm going to stop the poll in a few seconds. So if you want to select your answer, okay, quickly select it now. You also need more time. Okay, I'll give you about 30 more seconds. Okay, you're still doing it. The rest of you can look at question 4 first while waiting. Okay, right, so let's take a look. Okay, it's okay if you haven't selected your answer. Alright, I'll still go through the question. Okay, so the vast majority of you chose $80 and a few of you chose 48. Okay, so 80 is correct. Okay, so how do you get the 80? Those of you who chose 48. Okay, that's only for the second part of the model here. Okay, because you took 12 times 4 to find how much the remainder consists of, which is $48. Okay, this 48 is also the same here at the top, but it's no longer 4 units. Okay, you can call it 3 parts because each of the value here is different from the values in each unit in the second part of the model here. So now it's 3 parts. So to find one of it, you have to divide by 3. Which will get you $16. Yes, correct. $16. So this over here is also 16. Okay, as well as the first unit. Okay, this is all 16. So if you want to look for how much Andy had at first, that's everything. So you have to see how many 16s do you need. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So your final answer, you should be taking 16 times 5. Okay, which will get you $80 as your answer. Okay, so if you didn't get this question correct, okay, you just do your corrections, okay, and learn from it. Right, so you type it, you put it into your worksheet. Yeah, some of you might prefer branching. Okay, Sha'an prefer branching, right? You can go ahead and do branching. Some different students learn differently. If you need to be more visual, the model might help you better. Okay, some students prefer branching because it works better for them. You can do branching as well. Okay, so if you prefer model, you can go ahead and do model. Okay, it's more visual. So you can see what the question is talking about. Okay, so if you did branching, you will still get the same answer, $8. Okay, let's do question 4. Okay, so let's read the question. 2/7 of the marbles in a box are yellow. Okay, so this is of the marbles, which means of the total. Okay, are yellow. Okay, and 1/6 of the remaining are pink. So this belongs to remaining. And the rest are blue. There are 240 more blue marbles than pink marbles. How many marbles are there in the box altogether? So this question is a little bit different because now they're giving you a difference instead. Okay, there are 240 more blue than pink. Okay, so let's draw the model for total first. So the fraction belonging to your total is 2/7. So the denominator 7 tells us that we should be splitting our model into 7 units. Okay, so don't look at the wrong fraction. This 1/6 is for the remaining. Okay, so let's cut it into 7. Two out of the 7 is for yellow. Okay, so let's label 2 out of the 7. This is yellow. And draw the dotted line so we know that everything after the dotted line will be the remainder. Alright, so the fraction for remainder is 1 out of 6. So you can check your model. Do you have 6 units? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you don't have 6 units. So you have to drop down the model. Okay, so that you have a new model to split into 6. Okay, this is the remainder. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 out of the 6, label it as P for pink. Then everything else is going to be blue. Okay, they say the rest are blue. So they tell you that there are 240 more blue marbles than pink marbles. So your blue in the second model, you have 5 units. Okay, and for pink is 1 unit. So this is difference. So if you want the difference, okay, how many units do you think the 240 represent? You can type in the chat. How many units does your 240 represent? Since it's the difference. Okay, good. 4, yes. Okay, so those of you who type 4 in the chat, that is correct. Okay, so 5 minus 1, you can get 4 units because the blue has 4 units more than the pink. And that is the difference. So that difference is the same as this 240 here. Okay, so blue minus pink. So that's 5 minus 1, 4 units. Okay, difference. So this is difference also. So 4 units is equals to 240. What would be your 1 unit? 240 divided by 4. Yes, okay, thank you. 60, yeah. So 60. Each of these are 60. Which means, okay, what is your total in the second model? Okay, thank you, Jovin. Yeah. 60 times 6. Which is your 360, correct? Okay, so 360, which means on top here in the first part of the model, this is also 360, but it's no longer 6 units. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts instead. Okay, so you can call it parts instead. So let's find out individually how many marbles does each of these represent. So take your 360, divide by 5. Okay, so what would it be? Okay, thank you, Reem. 72. So this is 72 each, including these 2 units on the outside because they are all equal. Okay, then finally, how many marbles are there all together? Just need to find all of this. How many units? 7, yes. Okay, so 72 times 7. Your final answer? Just use your calculator. 72 times 7. Yes, correct. 504. Okay, if you didn't get this, that means you type wrongly. You type again. Okay, you should get 504. Okay. I think I saw someone ask how you get 4 units. Your blue minus pink, 5 units minus 1 unit is 4 units. That's the difference. Okay, this is also difference. Okay, so take some time, look through it. Okay, you should understand it with the model. Okay, any other questions? Okay, if you did branching and you got it wrong, most likely it's because you didn't label your 240 correctly. It's the difference between blue and pink. Minus pink is 4 units. Blue is 5. Pink is 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. Ashraf? Yeah, 5 minus 1 is 4. Your blue, okay, not 5, Alright, let's go to the next part, strategy 2. Okay, so now we'll be touching on trending fraction questions. Okay, so these type of questions are usually quite common. It can come out during your exam, or it has been very frequent in the recent exams. Okay, so let's try this. Okay, so let's read the question first. Kim had 4/9 as much money as Siti. So if you have this type of sentence like this, okay, one person had this much as another person, you can draw your arrows. 4 belongs to Kim, 9 belongs to Siti. Okay, Kim spent 3/4 of her money, while Siti spent twice as much as Kim. What fraction of Siti's money was left? Okay, if they ask you a fraction of, whatever comes after the of here is the denominator. Okay, whatever comes after of was left. So this is going to be the numerator. Okay, so let's draw the model. This is Kim. This is Siti. So how many units do I draw for each of them? Okay, so you can put K equals to how many units? Then Siti S equals to how many units? Okay, correct. Yep. So 4 for Kim, okay, because of the fraction here. 4 units is for Kim and 9 for Siti. The fraction is already telling you how many units you should draw. So we're going to draw 4 for Kim. And Siti, we're going to draw 9. So now Kim spends 3/4 of her money. So let's shade how much she spends. 3/4. So just nice, Kim already has 4 units here. So 3 out of 4 is spent. Okay, so this is spent. Well, Siti spent twice as much as Kim. So how many units did Siti spend? Yes. Okay, you can type in the chat. Okay, correct. 6. So this is Kim, but Siti spent twice. So 6 times, or 3 times 2 will be 6. So this is spent. So what's left? Here. Okay, left. So now the question is, what do you put in your fraction? Okay, so just now I explained already what fraction of Siti's money. That's the denominator. So her money is a total of 9 units. Numerator is what is left. So you have 1, 2, 3 units left. Yes. Okay, so you have 3 out of 9. Then you simplify. Okay, what's your final answer? Can you type into the chat? Okay, yes, I see a lot of answers already. You can put the slash for the divide. Yes, okay, good. 1/3. Okay, because you divide by 3 each. Okay, all right. So take note, simplest form. Don't leave it as 3/9. Okay, let's go to question 2. Okay, question 2, I'm just gonna read the question first and tell you all the keywords. Then I'll let you to try it by yourself first. Okay, so Mr. Jamal had a piece of wire. He used 4 3/4 meters of wire to form a rectangle. Then he used 1 2/5 meters less than what he used for the rectangle to form a triangle. Find the total length of the wire he used. Okay, they want it in a mixed number in its simplest form. So can you try this first? Okay, then you can select your answer in the poll here. Okay, it might seem like a very easy question. Okay, but just be careful because you can be careless even if the question is very simple. You can use your calculator for this. Okay, so you can solve it a bit quicker. Okay, so far I see a mixture of answers. Okay, a few more seconds. I'm gonna stop the poll soon. So quickly finish up your working. If your answer is not in the poll, then probably something is wrong. Okay, you go and try again. If not, I'll go through it soon. Okay, then you just listen up. Okay, I think I can stop the poll already. So if you want to select your answer, okay, please select it. Okay. Right, so most of you, okay, chose option 4, which is 8, 1 out of 10 meters. But a good number of you also chose the first two answers, 6, 3 out of 20 and 3, 7 out of 20. Okay, so the correct answer is 8, 1 out of 10 meters. Okay, so I think about 20 of you chose the first two answers. Okay, so why do you chose the first two? Okay, you must have mistook this 1 and 2/5 meters less. The triangle is less. Okay, he used this much less than what he used for the rectangle to form the triangle. So you should be subtracting to find out the triangle. Okay, so the triangle will be the rectangle plus 1 and 2/5. Oh, sorry, minus. Okay, because it's less than. Right, so once you subtract this, you will get 3, 7 out of 20. Okay, you can use your calculator. So that's option 2. So a lot of you stop there. Right, 3, 7 out of 20. But you're not answering the question. Okay, look at the question. They ask you find the total length of the wire he used, not just the triangle. Okay, they want the total length. So you have to add the triangle to the rectangle. So total triangle plus rectangle. Okay, so once you add it up, this will get you 8, 1 out of 10. Okay, so for those of you who chose option 1, it's because you went to add it instead. But the 1 and 2/5 meters is not for the triangle, it's less. Okay, so take note of the correct answer and write it down. So those of you who got 8, 1 out of 10, okay, well done, that is correct. Okay, this is nothing about area of triangles. Or think that you haven't learned about triangles. Okay, yeah, so this is just talking about measurement, your length of the wire that is used to form a triangle. Okay. All right, let's go to the next question. Question 3. Okay, I'm gonna clear this up. Okay, question 3. So this question actually came out in PSLE 2018 in paper 2. And a lot of students were not able to do this question. So it became a very popular question afterwards in for primary 6 questions at paper 2. So try to listen up for this question because it's quite common and it might come out as well for your exam. Okay. Alright, so at an inter-school coding competition, winners were awarded gold, silver, or bronze medals. Okay, 5/6 of the winners won either gold or bronze medals, and 1/3 of the winners won either gold or silver medals. So these are the clues given to you, okay, that will help you to check whether the two statements below are true, false, or not possible to tell. Okay, so let's take a look at the first statement over here. Okay, so a similar type question came out in 2018 PSLE. Okay, 1/6 of the winners won gold. So let's check for the fraction of winners who won gold. So let's first use the clue over here. Okay, you have 3 types of medals: gold, bronze, and silver. They said that 5/6 of the winners won either gold or bronze. So your gold and bronze must be 5/6. So what is the fraction for silver medals if you only have 3 types of medals? Okay, thank you, Jovin. Yes, 1/6. Correct, Jeannie. Okay, because 1 whole minus your 5/6, you can get 1/6. Everything here should get you 1 whole. Okay, all the medals. So now you know the silver. Okay, let's take a look at the second clue here. 1/3 of the winners won either gold or silver. So gold, silver, this is 1/3. Okay, and you know that silver is 1/3. Okay, we found it here. Sorry, 1/6. So inside the 1/3, the silver is 1/6. So how do you find the gold? Yes, correct. 1/3. Correct, Celine. 1/3 minus 1/6. Okay, what would this get you? Okay, we're looking for the gold. Okay, 1/6, which is the gold. Okay, because gold plus silver is 1/3. You minus away the silver, you're left with the gold. Therefore, the statement is true. Okay, the gold is 1/6 of the winners. Okay, then let's look at your part B. Half of the winners won bronze. Okay, so let's check whether it's true or false. So we can make use of what we have here. Gold and bronze is 5 out of 6. And we found out that gold is actually 1/6. Okay, so how do you look for bronze? Do the same thing as what you did for statement A. You know one of it, you just need to subtract. Okay, so gold and bronze is 5/6. You minus away the gold, which is 1/6. What would this get you? Yes, 4 out of 6. Can you simplify this? What would this get you? Okay, thank you. Yes, 2/3. Okay, so this is your bronze. So is the statement true, false, or not possible to tell? Correct. Okay, false, because they tell you it's half, but it's not half. You went to prove it, it's 2/3. Okay, so it's false. Okay, false. So that's your answer. Okay, you just need to put the tick under true and false. So this question is not so easy. So if you still need time to go and look through it again, okay, after the lesson, you can go and look through it again and try it yourself. Make sure you understand what is going on. Okay, you can also highlight and color code your working so you can understand better. Okay, any questions? So someone asked if this question can come out exactly. It will most likely be a replica question, okay, but it can be very similar to this. So it will also be true, false, not possible to tell, and then they will tell you some clues that will help you to find the answer. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so let's go back to this. Is there method 2? You may have other methods. Maybe you are taking 1 whole minus the minus the gold and silver to get the bronze. You can also get false as the answer. Okay, there are many ways to go about it. Jovin method could be guessing. Okay, if you no choice, then you have to guess. But if you know how to do it, then you can get it correct. Okay, so take note of how you can do it. Okay, so let's have a recap here. Right, so which do you find the most difficult? Okay, you can type the strategy into the chat. Okay, maybe strategy 2, last question. Okay, I see some of you saying last question. Oh, nothing. Okay. Oh, easy. Okay, good. Right, so if you find the question is difficult, most likely because you've never tried it before and you need more practice. Okay, so those of you who find it very easy, that's good. If you find it difficult, then just need to practice more. Okay, especially since you have upcoming assessments. Okay, so to prepare for this, okay, we do have upcoming programs. Okay, some of it is already ongoing, our SA1 booster class. So if you're still interested, okay, you can go and sign up at our website here. Okay, so I'm going to type it into the chat. You can click on it. Okay, so once you click on it, okay, it will bring you to the site here. Okay, we have programs from primary 4 up to Sec 4 for the SA1 booster. So once you click on it, okay, we have the timings here, online and also on site. So if you're interested and you feel that you still have a lot to catch up on, okay, you can sign up for this. You can just type your particulars into the form here and we'll contact you as soon as possible. Okay. So if you have brothers and sisters who are interested, you can also sign up. Okay, you can click the secondary level one over here, Sec 1 to Sec 4. Okay, so same, once you go into the website, you just scroll down and type in your particulars into the form here. Okay. Alright, so thank you for joining us today. If you have any other questions, okay, you can screenshot this, the email and the WhatsApp. You can also go to our website for more information. Okay, so that's what I have for you. Any other questions? Now I'll see you next week.